welcome back to the Hershey Magic online course. This is lesson number 7. Today I'm going to teach you moves that are kind of flourishy and flashy, kind of neat to look at. Many of them can be used in doing magic, but these are the things that'll make you look like an experienced magician. I'm going to teach you a bunch of things. I'm going to teach you the one-handed fans, like that. I'm going to teach you a classic thumb fan, which looks like this, and how to close it with one hand. I'll teach you the one-handed cut, also known as the Charlier cut, a flashy move. I'm going to teach you a variation on Daryl's hot shot cut, and in the advanced lessons we'll get into the full variation of the hot shot cut. I'll teach you another one-handed cut here called the scissor cut. I'll show that to you again. I'm going to teach you how to dribble the cards. People will actually believe you're shuffling the cards when you do this. Like that. Table spread. And a table spread turnover. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to teach you today is I want to teach you the one-handed cut, the Charlier cut. You'll see guys at poker tables and stuff do this, but also it's very common among magicians because it just looks flashy. It's just a neat way of cutting the cards with one hand. It looks difficult. It's not terribly difficult. It takes a little bit of practice to really get down, but once you get it down, you can't forget it. So the Charlier cut. You're going to hold the deck in your left hand with your thumb on the long edge of the deck in the center, here, pointing towards you. You're going to put the middle finger and ring finger on the opposite side of the deck so that the thumb is aimed right between the middle and ring finger, like that. Your index finger comes along the short side of the deck in the center. Your pinky finger provides support on the other side, so that you're holding the deck like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to push the deck with your thumb against the two outside fingers, and you're going to let the bottom half of the deck drop into your palm, like this. And the way that's accomplished is you push pressure, and then you lift up just a little bit on the top portion of the deck. There. Once the cards begin to fall in this position, your index finger comes under the deck, and is going to push that bottom half towards your thumb till it gets to about there. Once you're there, you're going to extend the ring and middle finger so that the top half falls down, and then just use the thumb to push the deck closed again. So again, put a little pressure, drop the bottom half, index finger comes under the deck, pushes up towards the thumb. These two fingers extend, the bottom half falls on top of the index finger, which gets out of the way, and the top half falls on top. Just like that, and that's a one-handed cut. Okay. The next one I'm going to teach you is the variation of the one-handed cut excuse me, that I used during the top-bottom middle trick that I explained in lesson number 6. That is where it looks like you're cutting the deck and bringing out the card from the center of the pack. It's a variation on Daryl's hot shot cut, and it goes like this. This takes practice because you have to stretch out your middle and index finger of your left hand. If you notice, if I stretch out my middle and index finger on my left hand and stretch out my middle finger and my index finger on my right hand, the left hand extends much, much wider than my right hand does. And this is from doing this cut. Because you're going to hold the deck between the pointer finger and the middle finger. Again, if you have smaller hands, use a bridge deck to practice this. Take your index finger and your middle finger, and you're going to place the deck in between those fingers, like that, at the very top of the deck. So that when it sits in your palm, most of the deck lies in your hand. The very edge comes just out past your middle and index finger. So that's where you're initially going to grip the cards. Now with your ring finger and your thumb, you're going to grip the deck at the other end, so that you're holding the deck in these 4 fingers. And it does take some time to stretch these out, like I said, so don't be discouraged if you don't get it the first couple of times. So you're holding the deck in this kind of rectangular position with your 4 fingers here. The pinky is not involved in this. And you're going to use your thumb to pull down half the deck here. Okay? You're going to slide your thumb into that break and over to the other side by your ring finger. The ring finger will get out of the way because now this half is resting on top of the thumb so that your thumb comes out by the middle finger as opposed to the index. Now what happens here is you're going to put pressure from the thumb against the index finger so that you're now holding the deck with these 2 fingers, and the middle finger gets out of the way, and you spin your right thumb towards the left. And as you can see, when you do that, the cards immediately start to move with your thumb till you get to this position. Once you're in this position, the middle finger curls in just a little, allowing this to shift from here to here. So it comes up a little bit, and the index finger is going to fall behind this deck like this, allowing the 2 halves to meet again. So we start here, holding the deck between the middle finger and index finger, thumb and ring on the bottom half, break part of the deck, half the deck, thumb slides to the other side here, puts pressure against this finger, rotates the top half of the deck, middle finger and ring finger pull down this packet, and the 2 halves meet again, just like that. Now, the way I bring out the deck, the card from the middle, from top, bottom, middle at this point, is if you notice that when I do that cut, at the end your thumb gets trapped in between the 2 halves. Well, if you just lightly move your thumb upward from that position, it's going to drag that bottom card out with it. So if you just drag that card out with it, the deck will actually use the pressure of the cards falling on top of that single card to flip the card. And you just catch it, and it looks like that card has come out of the center of the pack. So I'll do that for you again, just at speed real quick. Cut the deck like this, and there's the card for top, bottom, middle, the middle card production. I'll go over this one more time. I'm going to go over it a little quicker, but I'll explain it step by step. Cards are held between first and middle finger, thumb and ring finger on the bottom. Thumb breaks half the deck, slides over by the ring finger, which gets out of the way. Pressure from these 2 fingers slides it this way as these 2 fingers pull this half down. Index finger is now trapped under the deck. Index finger gets out of the way. 2 halves meet. Thumb is now underneath. Slides out that bottom card and flips it over. It happens automatically. It's almost harder to not flip the card than it is to flip the card. See, if you just like that, it just happens because of the pressure trapped on your thumb. So one more time, just at regular speed. There it is without it, and then here it is. Oops, sorry. Here it is with the card. So that is the variation on the hot shot cut. I'll explain more about the hot shot cut in the advanced lessons. Okay, the next move I want to teach you is called the one-handed fan. Now, I did it with 2 hands. I did a one-handed fan in each hand. It goes exactly the same for both hands, so I'm just going to teach you with one hand. So put the cards down, just take about half the pack, maybe a few cards less than half the pack. Okay, and I'm going to teach you the way I do it. Okay, this is the way that I make a one-handed fan. Holding the face side of the cards out to your spectators, you're going to put your middle finger right in the center of the pack at the short end here. You're also going to put your ring finger right next to it. Your pinky and your index finger are going to sit at the top of the deck by that end, but on the long side. So you're holding the deck here like this. All right? Now, the way to get the fan to work is you're going to put pressure with your thumb. Let's see if I can turn around so you can see this. You're going to put pressure with your thumb at this corner of the card here. And you're going to use the pressure that you're pushing as you push out on the deck to push the top cards here up. At the same time, your index finger is going to come off of the center of the top of the pack and come around to the back, and it's going to push down in the opposite direction that the thumb is pushing to push these bottom cards out. It's hard for me to do it slow. See, the index finger pushes these cards down as the thumb pushes these cards up, and that gives you the nice big span. Okay? So let's try that again. Just take a look. Cards are held middle and ring here, index and pinky here, thumb in the back, index finger comes around like that. They're going to push in opposite directions to get the widest spread possible, and the finished product looks like this. And you just grip the cards. Again, it's done the exact same way for the other hand, and once you practice it, you can get the two large one-handed fans. That's a one-handed fan. Okay? Very quickly, before I teach you the other fan, I'm going to show you the table spread and the table spread turnover. This is very, very simple. Put the cards on a surface that is not glass or wood, and you're just going to bevel the cards a little bit. In other words, make them slant so that the slant is coming in an upward slant towards your hand, like that. And then with your pointer finger at the bottom of that slant, you're just going to put pressure down on the whole deck, and the index finger will leave cards on the table as you spread. It's very, very easy to do. So you can spread that, and then it doesn't take very much practice. The cards spread out like that. Okay? At that point, come to the end on the left-hand side and just lever it upwards. And then with your hand, you can just simply turn the whole pack over. You can turn it back over again. And that is the tabletop table spread turnover. And the very last move I'm going to show you right now is called the thumb fan, or the classic fan. And that is this fan here. It's done with two hands. Generally, I do it here like this with my index finger. You can do it with your thumb, which is why it's called a thumb fan. And I'm going to teach you that very quickly. Very simple to do. Your left hand makes an L. The cards are held in where the thumb is, outward most, so that you're held in this grip. And you're going to put pressure on this corner where your thumb is of the deck. Once you do that, you're going to bevel these again like we did for the table spread, and just push in a circular motion around, and the fan is made. It's actually very simple to do. Pressure here, cards, most of the card pointed outward this way, very little of the card in your hand, and then with your index finger or your thumb, spin in a clockwise half circle direction, and that is a thumb fan. Just like that. And that's nice for having somebody select a card from the deck. Make the fan. The way to close it with one hand, take the index finger and just put pressure against the thumb and spin your cards in the same clockwise motion starting at the bottom, and the fan will close. Just like that. It's hard to do it slowly. So that is the classic fan. So hopefully you'll enjoy those flourishy moves. Take them, use them, impress all your friends, and we'll see you back here at the Hershey Magic online course for lesson number 8. I'm Jack Trades with Hershey Magic.